Fast forward, any come out China so AG politics avenue. Podcast hours are trying to make headlines. The agenda na EDB Akroma or need me home proxy muse and EDD Kayam. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit notification bell so share now for front so answer into me and Kabini Maunia, young political highways in Ejadem Enya Asam Koto Akra, not in accept a can offer attack. Namano Kasei, and TV3 so NDC communicators and be etimi a BB and Simbiso Ayajam rap. EDB Akroma or and some mocking non accept. NPP Amayakono, or Mutrum Pony non accept. Omo empe second offer ata bitimi abagan haksi at this point in time. Ababi drugan hasi, no mutrimu pono kra, one pesadi and a kra. Nemono, now omo epe kwa imbisona, omotimi, afasona, omotimi regularity, a documents are and also etimi aye expired. At this point in time, yem bon run seminim, na yenji in seminum chomu yipa, AGH Politics Avenue. Young caught in similar.
Matter can go anyway. Already he's made application for what's it called a permanent residency. If there's something I know, most of these issues they end up with they being given even permanent residency. I know so many people who
because of the status,
not necessarily because of the status,
or what they contribute to the United States.
Not necessarily, but you see the way some of these immigration things. I have personal knowledge of a lot of people who were caught by ICE. And eventually, instead of they being deported, rather they got their documents regularized. So it can go
either way.
Either way. But my point is, what is government doing to ensure that justice is done as? You see, we shouldn't allow instances where what Ijapa Mesa said. And for me, if his political career doesn't end because of those statements, then I don't know.
Well, the question he asked was what?
No, but he was defending. He was making an argument that there's no law that holds people accountable, and he belongs to a political party who's another senior member, Akroma. Shamelessly, he hasn't told all of us that in politics nobody has your interest.
No, he was. He was reading a section of a book.
No, I was.
Let me correct you once again.
Listen.
It was a book launch.
I was there. Listen, I was there. You don't need to say. He said shamelessly that in politics.
He was reading from the book written by somebody else.
Listen. I beg you. Are you the host or you are the editor? And I'm not giving a wrong info. He said that in politics, yes, nobody has your interest. Nobody has your interest. And when you are in a room, political room, look around. If you do not see the person being used, then you must know that you are being used. So is it the case that the Ghanaians are being used? But that's what I said, because I look around and I can't see who is being used in this political game. No, I can't. No, I'm looking around. No, you are not being used. And then Ghanaians are looking around. They are telling us.
It was in the book. So
Akroma
is that time he was a member of the NPP.
It was one of the reasons why I left the NPP. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I left. You see, so Ghanaians, Akroma is telling us, all of us, that in this game, they do not have your interest. I don't know what they're going to do with their interest. He's telling us, shamelessly, that they do not have our interest. And that we've looked around and we cannot see who is being used. So we Ghanaians, we are being used. And that's why senior members of the NPP do not have any qualms to advise Ken, don't come. They advise Ken, don't come. Because their interest, because their interest is not Ghana. Their interest is not Ghana. For them, their interest, I beg you spoke, I didn't talk. Their interest, I beg you, stop. I don't like this. I don't like this. The interest, stop this. Their interest is not Ghana. Their interest is to use politics, in whichever form it is, to advance their parochial interest. Because they said, I beg you, I will stop this. Their interest, that's what they are telling us. And that's why they do not have any shame when the matter will be the Republic versus Kenneth Nanayahu.
Okay.
They don't have any shame to advise him that don't come, run away.
All right.
Run away.
So I have this one. This one sent by lawyer Leonard, who says that implied from the statement by Gabi Ochredako that Ken Ofori-Atta is apprehensive about getting justice. The fact that when Dr. Akuffo and Richard Jakpa were prosecuted on the instructions of Ken Ofori-Atta suspected Akuffo and co. would not get the needed justice. Anyway, he says that he wants to assure that the judiciary has not changed since the Akuffo government left power. But then it lends credence to fears that are usually expressed by those who are always from a previous regime after each transition, who maybe are asked to be answerable or being prosecuted. Is that not the case?
Yeah, definitely. Good morning to our viewers. And, good morning to Doc. And, good morning to Lawyer.
Yeah, morning, my brother.
Babaru, that's the issue of the kind of governance structure we have in the country, and the fact that, the governance system itself is not protective.
Meaning what?
Yes, meaning that, the governance structure is actually not protecting the interests of the people, and that it gives so much power, to political figures, to do whatever they want to do. And at the end of the day, they try to sweep their stewardship under the carpets. And for me, like many others, I believe that Ken should come, whether there has been a regime change, whether the legal structures are still the same or have changed. The bottom line is that if you have not committed a wrong, you are not afraid of any charge that is laid upon you.
Exactly.
So I feel that Ken has no business staying in another man's country, for protection.
He has no business doing that?
He has no business doing that. At least, we came to serve the good people of Ghana. And to the best of my understanding, he served 6-7 years without salary. All right? So if you did this, the question is that on what basis would someone say that you were corrupt, you have embezzled money, and all that? You see, so if your initial action suggested that you are a man of your own, you have made it in life, you don't need, even salary from Ghana, and that you are serving Ghana, freely, then who can even say that you have stolen Ghana's money? All right, I feel he should come. My only complication has to do with, the link between his arrest by ICE and the deportation, and what the Attorney General actually said, that his arrest was partially based on, Ghana's request for his extradition. And ICE is also saying that, no, the man was not arrested based on, the request by Ghana by his visa status. In other words, probably he has overstayed, or he has intention of overstaying. Others have also said that Ken has actually applied for an extension of his visa, and probably to also get a green card to be able to stay in the US. Now, if you read all the responses by ICE and his detention, I think that we should be able to decouple, his detention, from the corruption charges that, is presumed, against him, because the two are not the same from what we are hearing. So if we can separate the two, then of course we can make justice to the issue. We know and from, expert views that ICE cannot enforce criminal laws against, Kenoforiata in the U.S. Right? I don't know whether lawyer has.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. And that also means that ICE cannot extradite Kenoforiata to Ghana. They can't extradite.
The Immigration and Customs Enforcement mission, they cannot do that?
They can't do that. I mean, I've had some.
They can deport him.
They can't. Wait, I'm coming. On criminal charges.
No, not on
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. On immigration, yes.
But that's what he's being held for.
Yes, so that's what I'm coming to. But that's why initially I said that.
An impression was given that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you get the point that based on the operations of ICE, it will be purely based on immigration. All right. Now, what I want to see is that in case ICE takes the decision, because I hear that there are even complications when even ICE take the decision that they are going to deport. So much complications. And for me, I want to believe that that probably was the reason why the Attorney General came out to say that he foresee a long battle, between U.S. and Ghana with regards to, the extradition processes. And what if ICE decides to deport Ken to Ghana? All right.
What if?
What if? Is it going to inure to the benefits of the country or what? There may be certain conditions that must be fulfilled. I hear that in the first case, they must understand that, ICE must understand that his destination is Ghana. All right. That is, if they are taking him, they are deporting him, are they deporting him to Ghana or to Nigeria or to South Africa? We have heard, based on certain examples, that some Nigerians, use Ghanaian passports. So when they are deported, they don't go to Nigeria, but they are deported to Ghana. Right. Okay. As at now, we don't know what the situation is with Ken.
Whether he's holding a Ghanaian passport.
A Ghanaian passport or another country's passport. And
Definitely a Ghanaian passport.
Definitely a Ghanaian passport. That is another assumption. Probably the age.
But there are countries in the Caribbean, etc., who offer, like St. Lucia and some of those, they offer citizenship on some key terms, like for investment purposes. So it's possible.
Especially when you are even a political symbol, right? Okay. Now again, ICE may decide that we are not going to deport him. Like lawyer said, that some people were arrested by ICE, they got their documents regularized, and they are staying. All right. So it means that there are two or more options in there, which of course Ken can take advantage of. All right. That is if it is based, his detention is strictly based on the, how do we call it, the visa, issues. All right. Okay. So if they decide to avoid deportation, okay, then of course he's not coming to Ghana. In that case, it becomes a bit difficult for Ghana to try him. All right. So then comes that question of trying him in absentia, of which probably lawyer may want to go deep into it. Okay. But if
you're advocating that we try him in absentia?
I actually don't have full knowledge, when it comes to issues regarding trying someone in absentia.
So why are you talking about it?
No, I raised a question, and I said that brings that one to mind. All right. But I have heard that, is it Sedinam Tamakulu?
Yes, Sedinam Tamakulu.
Was tried
in absentia.
In absentia,
she was not in the jurisdiction, yes.
Yeah, but she was tried and convicted, right?
Convicted, yeah.
Okay. So it means that there's a precedent.
We have a number of individuals not in the jurisdiction who had been tried in absentia.
So it means that there are precedents.
Yeah.
Okay.
A number of them.
If there are.
The Constitution makes Article 19 of the Constitution.
Okay. Then, of course, obviously, we can explore that if that Attorney General feels that there's a hard core case against him, why not? We can explore that avenue, you know. And is it a case that Ken can also be released on bond?
Yeah.
So he remains in the U.S.
Yes. It's a high case. It's a high possibility.
Yes, high-profile person. All right.
A
Yes.
continuance of bond being issued for him.
So I see that there are issues. But, Papa Ro, do you know that in Africa, there have been cases where, you know, Nigeria had a case, a high-profile case, just like Ken's own. You know, the UK refused to extradite the woman. But then there was an agreement.
But there have been a number of cases as well where we have Nigerian governors or senators who had committed crimes. Some... and they had been extradited, or the Nigerian government allowed them.
My readings and my checks, you know, gave me about 5 cases in Africa where they were not. Yeah. You know,
but the others too, when they were.
Yes.
But you are making a decision to go on when they were not.
Yeah. So I am looking at the decision as to whether when it becomes possible, okay, as to whether, you know, US will be ready to get him to Ghana or not. Okay, because it still remains a decision, even though there's a treaty between the two countries. You know, I feel that the complications in there is so much that the Attorney General and the OSP, you know, should have hardcore evidence, you know, to, as it were, convince the US to bring the man or not. All right. And I think that the bottom line is, you know, convincing United States Department of Justice, you know, that, yes, Ken has a problem in Ghana. He needs to come to account for his stewardship over a period of time. He needs to come and face, you know, the loss of the land. As it were, if he's able to defend himself, yes, he will be allowed to go scot-free. Earlier, you were asking as to whether...
So all your commentary is on the side of Ken, not to come?
No.
Or reasons why you are ascribing that he may not come?
Our previous conversations, I have made that point. And even today when I was starting, I said that the man has no business seeking refuge in another man's country. All right? And that for me, if he feels that he has not committed any crime, he should come. All right? But whatever actions that he's putting, excuses that he's putting across with regards to his human rights status and, you know, abuses and all that, I feel that they are not justifiable reasons. Okay? Because as at now, we are not here. So how do you even read into the case that when you come, someone is going to trample on your human rights, all right, or someone is going to take your human rights away from you? Come and let's see. And then, of course, you have lawyers who can deal with the matter as it is, all right? So I feel that it's not about justifying. If what I'm hearing appears to be true, there's no way I'll sit on this, in front of this camera, and then say that, no, Ken shouldn't come. He has to. Okay. He has to, whether good or bad.
At the same time,
I was making cases that can complicate
the whole thing.
You know, the whole process.
Okay.
All right. So for me, I believe that what the Attorney General is doing, the position he has taken, you know, inures to the benefit of the country. But I want to see a process where, you know, the Attorney General has his evidence right, all right, and is able to, you know, convince the U.S. authorities and the appropriate quarters in U.S. that, yes, the man by hook or crook, should come to Ghana and face, whatever charges that has been preferred against him. All right. Because you see, Roland, what I'm seeing is that this case is not an ordinary case.
Then what is it?
Yes.
It's an ordinary case. We've had former finance ministers and key ministers of state who have been prosecuted before.
Because of the nature. All right. Because it is one case that demonstrates anti-corruption credibility, especially for this government.
You know about the law on cost of financial loss to the state?
Yes, I know.
Chajo Chikata was jailed for it.
Yes, I know.
Victor Salom.
I know.
Kwame Pepra was also prosecuted.
Regarding the interests of the public in this particular case, all right, if the NDC government is able to execute this case well, it's something that gives them credibility, isn't it?
Okay.
And it tells Ghanaians that no one is above the law, isn't it? And that it will be a symbol of behavior to those government appointees now in government and even in future or for future appointees. So that's why I'm saying that we need to cautiously, approach this issue, with that kind of tactfulness that it deserves, so that it doesn't become a fiasco to disgrace the government in power and probably, give more strength to future leaders and appointees.
All right. I have Professor Smart Sapong. Good morning to you, Professor Smart Sapong. He is Director for Research and Innovation, the Kumasi Technical University. Professor Smart Sapong, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Roland.
Yeah, good to see you once again. The last time you were in the studio was quite a breath of fresh air to see you in the studio. Today, we have to do virtual. Right. We're told that Ken Ofori-Atta will be doing virtual tomorrow, which has now become very symptomatic of the judicial system of America, where they use video conferencing to do trials. So that's a good thing. I don't know how that is sinking with the minds of ordinary Ghanaians, but we just have 12 days to the NPP primaries. So far, what have you been picking up? Have you undertaken any research? What's the outcome of the research? But generally, if you want to, based on your observation, comment on this, looking at the messaging from those strong individuals who could be having the best messages that is also rhyming well with the delegates or the party members, and more importantly, who are the leads in the run-up to these primaries to elect a flag bearer for the NPP.
Right, so a very good morning to yourself and to the team in studio and to our cherished viewers across the world. On Ken, briefly, I would have felt that availing yourself to justice would have been the best, not for him, but for all current, future, past government officials. And it should be part of the KPIs they will sign to, that at the expiration of
we ain't somehow to me cause channel so I'm not so jim or send us over the end of the Dumbi Edomania. Only ever sample room, not your smoke once.